All right, we will call this meeting of the Property Committee to order at 5:01. We do have a quorum with members Bloomfield and member O'Neill absent. Do we have any appearances by members of the public or county employees?
Chair Abel, we've had no requests this evening.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes from September 5th, 2024 regular meeting, and the recommended approval of bills and transfers, if any, to the county board. Is there a motion? Motion by member Lehman, second by member Bell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, I hit it off. Next item on the agenda is departmental matters with Mr. Joseph Gaither from our Director of Facilities Management. 4A1 is request approval of a contract with GIVSCO Construction Company for the Public Defender Office remodeling project. Mr. Gaither, the floor is yours. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to put that on the floor? Motion by member Tompkins, second by Duffy. Mr. Gaither, the floor is yours.
Thank you. This is the formal contract. We brought the an informal contract previously to the previous board, but this is the formal contract for the construction remodeling of the Public Defender's Office. The money was grant money received through the state, and so that's where the funding for this project is coming from.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions, comments, discussion? All right, all those in favor of 4A, request approval of a contract with GIVSCO Construction Company for the Public Defender Office remodeling project, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. 4A1B, request approval of a change order related to Phase 3 of the Government Center carpet replacement project. I'm sorry, can I get a motion to put that on the floor, please? Motion by member Bell, second by member Duffy. Mr. Gaither, floor is yours again.
Thank you. I'm going to ask that our project manager for our department, Scott Fogler, to go over any questions on this project. It's the third phase of this project, and he has ran this project since the very beginning. And so if you have any questions, I'd love to turn it over to Scott.
Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the phase 3 of the carpet project for this building. We did a couple sections previously, the first floor and some other areas. This mainly is going to be the admin areas of Bloomington and the county on this floor. And it also includes furniture elevation so that they can do the carpet underneath and we don't have to remove everything and put it back. So it's a very efficient way of doing it, and we're in need of new carpet in these areas.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions, comments, discussions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of 4A1B, request approval of a change order related to Phase 3 of the Government Center carpet replacement project, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next item is 4A1C, request approval of a proposal from Mechanical Services, Inc. for replacement of data center cooling units at the Government Center building. Can I have a motion to put that on the floor? Motion by Duffy, second by member Lehman. Mr. Gaither.
Thank you. These cooling units will be, as indicated, are directly for just the data centers for both the county and the city data areas. Those are have outlived their life expectancy, are in great need of replacement.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Member Lehman?
What's the overall lifespan for something like this?
Generally, heating and cooling equipment is generally ballpark 20 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of 4A1C, request approval of a proposal from Mechanical Services, Inc. for replacement of data center cooling units at the Government Center building, please say aye. Aye. That passes unanimously. Next item for action is 4A1D, request approval of a proposal from Pipeworks for plumbing upgrades at the Government Center. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Member Tompkins, second by Member Bell. Mr. Gaither.
Thank you. I am, again, going to defer to our project manager, Scott Fogler, on this. This has been a very intricate and difficult project to navigate, so I'm going to let him answer any questions on this. He's he spent a lot of time on this project.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. This is replacing the supply and waste and venting piping in this building. Mainly the north half of the building is in very bad shape. We're getting some sewer gas smells from deteriorating pipes. It's very unpleasant for the workers. And the water's not coming out quite clear because of corrosion on the pipes. There's old galvanized piping versus copper that is industry standard now. So we're looking to remove a large majority of that piping and replace it with up-to-date supply, waste, and vent piping throughout the building.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Member Duffy?
Yeah, I know you mentioned kind of there being an odor on the north side of the building. How long, excuse me, how long has it been persisting? Have people been complaining about it?
Well over 6 months, probably between 6 months and a year. We've done some smoke tests to find out where the location is. We were able to do some repairs and improve it, but we will not be able to eliminate it until we upgrade.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Member Lehman?
Thank you. Just curious, with such a big project like this, is there going to have to be some office shifting or some adjustment that happens to actual work that's happening in the building in order to accommodate it?
There will be some inconveniences, but the majority of the work is going to be on second and third shifts so that we don't disrupt daily activities. We're going to try and minimize the best we can. There may be some times where a bathroom is shut down and someone would have to travel a little farther than they normally would, but we'll still have everything operational and try and be as least disruptive as possible for business.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? Member Bell?
Now, is this on the Washington Street side? Because I remember, was it last year or the year before that we had to close down in front of Washington Street and Main Street in front of the building where you guys were working underneath in the basement? So is this on that area, same area? I remember going downstairs looking at, some of the pipes and stuff what was going on.
Yeah, there were minor repairs done at that time, more or less a patching or Band-Aid, but it is that whole infrastructure of plumbing systems down there is indeed of replacement. We also found out there was some cast iron that, cast iron should last 50 years plus. It was a off-market type cast iron that was sold to the United States during a small period of time, and it was not caught, and we unfortunately have some of that. So where it would have lasted normally, we wouldn't have to replace cast iron. We have to because of a substandard material.
Is there any other questions, comments, or discussion? All right, thank you. All those in favor of 4A1D, request approval of a proposal from Pipeworks for plumbing upgrades at the Government Center, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That item passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is 4A2, items to be presented for information. We have quite a few updates here from Mr. Gaither. Do I need to read each of these individually? Okay, perfect. We'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I'm sure most of you are aware, we have been working on the Fairview building the last year and a half, drying the building in and the first couple phases of bringing it back to life. Scott's been instrumental in that. He's worked with the Department of Natural Resources, because that building is on the registry, the historic registry. So I would like to turn over specifically A, B, and C to start with to Scott, and he can give an update on all three of those that are currently going on with the Fairview building.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, so item 2A is the asbestos abatement. Obviously, we didn't want everybody to just jump in there and start demoing and have it be an unsafe environment, so we had testing done. Item A is to remove the asbestos-containing materials first. I want to get those done by a specialty company so that we're not exposing anyone else that comes in to do work. So we'll get that removed first. And the change order, item B, unfortunately, it's something that cannot be seen while estimating the job. Once they started pulling some brick off on the outside, they saw that the inner layer between the brick is deteriorating rapidly. It's an old elevator shaft, so that is the repair that we're looking to do. That is unfortunately a little beyond the bid price, but no fault of anyone's. It just couldn't be seen until we actually dug in. Item C is interior demolition and the lead paint abatement. That is getting everything out of the inside of that building down to the studs. All mechanicals, all plaster, drywall, fixtures, nothing is salvageable or reusable. The building just sat for too long and wouldn't be safe to put anything back into working order. So that's going to be a very big project, very involved, but we get all that old stuff out of there and then we can start working on putting it back together. And I apologize, I may have went through those a little quick. If anybody has questions on individual items, be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much. Member Lehman.
Just curious, so since the items used in the building aren't really salvageable or reusable, is there any kind of like recyclable element with it, or because of the age or asbestos content, it can't?
No, the asbestos content, all that will be removed. The leftover materials will all be recycled.
Awesome.
They just can't be reused for the building.
Okay.
But yeah, all that, the cast iron, the copper, and the pipe, the wiring, all of it will be recycled.
Love to hear that. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure.
Are there any other questions for those three items? All right, return the floor to you, sir.
Yes, okay. Item 2D is the rehab project at the nursing home. We've been working on this for some time. It's going to be mainly a mechanical remodel. We're going to be redoing the main water lines that go through the building. We're going to be separating the HVAC from the lighting. Right now, they're combined. So when you have a diffuser, it actually outputs heating and cooling, and it's a light fixture. A lot of downsides to that. So we're going to kind of separate that, make everything clean and nice. Right now, it does not have a drop ceiling, so nothing is accessible mechanical-wise. With the building having aging infrastructure, we really need to get to that stuff to do repairs and things like that. So we're going to drop the ceiling, put in a suspended ceiling throughout about 90% of the facility. There's also going to be some work in the kitchen, a new makeup air unit, new design for the kitchen hood. Basically, we're trying to hit the most concerning points with the money that we have right now and possibly expanding from there. But we're getting the main mechanical systems that are original to the building upgraded.
Thank you very much for that update. I do have a question. How will any of these projects at the nursing home impact the residents that are at the nursing home?
Feel very confident in the setup that we have. The contractors that we're working with and the architect and the engineers have all had past work in skilled care environments. We will be separating all construction from the residents. There will be no crossover. They will not be in the wings that the work's being done. There will be some relocation of a few residents into wings when the work is being done, but it's going to be very minimal for the amount of construction that's being done. It's been thought through very carefully.
And the replacement of, I believe it was hot water lines, I think, is that, how long will there not be hot water available? Or will there be no hot water available?
There will be hot water available at all times. There may be some shutdowns for a couple hours or two, but they're not going to take them out and have an extended period of time. IDPH is part of this project and everything's being run through them to make sure that we're complying.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? Member Lehman?
Thank you very much. So exciting to see that when we're looking at the bid, that we're able to accept 5 of the 6 alternatives that were on the RFP. So knowing that that just leaves the water softener piece, just curious, is that something that that we would then plan for the CIP for future planning to get that one in, or is that not as necessary to consider with the rest of the things that we went with instead?
It's definitely low on the priority list. Normal has really good water. There's not any issues to speak of. More or less, it's just extending the life of equipment. It requires less maintenance when it has the better water going through it. We are going to have the setup and piping right there and ready to go. So I can't speak to the financial side of it, but I can say that we will be ready to go and minimize the cost with how we're setting it up. I would venture to say after we get the new lines in and everything, we would just do water tests, and if it's needed, the hardness is exceeding what we want to see, then we could put it in at that time, but it may not even be needed.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? Member Bell?
The sprinkler systems are generally located in the hallways of the nursing home. Is that correct?
They're throughout.
They're
They're throughout the
throughout?
building.
Okay, and would those be upgraded too?
They're actually in good shape. We're going to do a little work on them because of the suspended ceiling. I mean, obviously, we need to turn those and bring them down, but that's the only work being done with the sprinkler system.
Oh, sorry. Any other questions or comments? Member Duffy?
Yeah, no, I was just kind of curious. Do you guys have like a timeline or a ballpark estimate as to, when the rehab project at the nursing home would be completed?
I think we're expecting about a year now. That's the target date.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you. We will hand it back over to Mr. Gaither.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'd just like to thank Scott for all of his work. His expertise in skilled care, he spent a lot of years working in that environment, and so it's been absolutely valuable, and it's really helped us having him on board, and with this project especially. A lot of our stuff that you've seen driven the last year and a half is since Scott's come on board, and I just can't say enough good things about having him on our team. So I just wanted to share that. I'm sure he'll probably not be happy he doesn't like accolades, but I did want to thank him for his hard work. As far as our report, I try to touch on some of the funner stuff. Usually what we do is not always fun stuff. It's if the heat's going, that's good, which we've got in this building with the new boilers, and our health department building with the new boilers. For us, those are fun for us because we don't have the late night calls with no heat in buildings or frozen pipes. But it's not always, those aren't always the fun projects. So I like to try to touch on in the report is my highlights. I like to have be some of the more fun stuff. Like the Fairview building, the exterior coming back to life, and the tuck point work, and an old sorry building that's sitting there with holes in the roof 2 years ago has now got a fresh roof on it, and new soffits, and it's coming back to life. Another really one I like to highlight is the Livingston Santas making a reappearance in the downtown. Most people probably aren't old enough to remember when they were actually around, but it's neat to see them make their way back, especially when you find out how long they've been in storage and they've survived. So having it actually make it back and having the unveiling, so to speak, last Saturday was a lot of fun. The other thing at the museum. We did 10 of the old radiators. And if you get a chance to check those out versus the ones we have not done yet, the ornamental work that is on those radiators is absolutely, it's beautiful. And after they were stripped down and resurfaced, you can see all that ornate casting on them. So if you get a chance to check those out when you're over there, I know it's just it's utilitarian equipment, but it is neat to see what was put into those 100 years ago when they were built. So as far as the rest of our report, exciting times with the animal control building. It's dried, basically dried in at this point. They're just about ready to start putting a roof on. All the beams have been set for the roof, and the sheeting's going up and stuff. So that'll be a neat one to see. It's really going to start changing quickly now. Let's see. We got the north elevator working again. People that come in off the north side, I know our IT department's very happy with that. That elevator was down for a couple years, so it's up and operational again. We're getting very close on the LED lighting project. That's 5 buildings that will be completely converted over to the LEDs, we anticipate a huge savings on that. So lots of fun things happening. But if you have any questions about the report, I'd be happy to answer any.
Thank you so much, and thank you both for all of your work. These are huge projects that are making a really big impact on our community and our properties, so it's fantastic to see a lot of these things coming to fruition and the excellent job you both are doing. Does anyone else have any comments or questions for Mr. Gaither? All right, thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is 4B. 1A, request approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 205 fees, Article 11 miscellaneous code fees, Section 205-37 Parks in the McLean County Code. Mr. Mike Steffa, Director of Parks and Recreation Department, the floor is yours.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do need a motion, I'm sorry. To put on the floor. Motion by Duffy, Member Duffy, second by Member Bell. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Now, good evening. Okay, every year about this time, I look at our competition and see what they're charging for their fees. In addition, I take into account increasing cost and supplies and manpower. So I usually try to, every year about this time, look pretty hard at our fees that we charge. We haven't had a picnic shelter reservation increase in some time. So when I do look at our competition, I usually look at the town of Normal, and then I look at state parks, and then I try to do like entities. I'll go to like Vermillion, look at Vermillion County Forest Preserve District, and then I'll look up in the collar counties too, but collar counties tend to be a little bit higher than us, so I do take into account that. So therefore, I also was looking at the mooring slips. If you don't know what a mooring slip is, it's where somebody parks their fishing boat or their pontoon for the season out at the lake. Our closest competition is Mucky Duck Marina over at Lake Bloomington, and Moraine Views concession stand, their mooring slips. So that's who I compared us to. That's where I do the comparisons. So therefore, I'm asking you all to approve the fee increases that I'm asking for. And I'll be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Member Lehman?
How many boats can be accommodated at our mooring slips?
We just got the new mooring docks. That can hold 24.
Okay.
We've got and we'll probably fill those up this year because we had a lot of people that we had to turn away. We'll still have some space on the old docks that we can go to as well, and probably 16 spots there. So I'm confident we're definitely going to fill the new ones and maybe some of the older rental docks as well.
Okay, excellent, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Member Duffy?
Yeah, just kind of based off of what you said, kind of wanted to follow up. When you have to, like, and I know you said you had to turn people away sometimes because spots fill up. What happens when you turn them away? Is there like a wait list, or is it first come, first served type basis, I'm assuming?
What we do, and we're gonna start this year, is January, first business day in January, it'll be first come, first serve. So there'll probably be people waiting in line. Hopefully it won't be too cold out for people waiting, but we'll open up at 8 o'clock. And then whoever gets there first, we'll have a diagram showing the docks, and they'll get to pick their spot out. So it'll be first come, first serve.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Are there any other questions? All right. All those in favor of 4B, 1A, request approval of the ordinance amending Chapter 205 fees, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. The next item is 4B, 1B, request approval of a resolution for declaration of surplus property. And that is back over to you, Mr. Stuffa.
Thank you. We've used this site before, or this business before, called Gov Deals. I put in there for the newer people that may not know on this committee, what is Gov Deals? It's an auction house, basically, to take old surplus equipment and vehicles and make a little bit of money, and then that money will come back to the county. It goes into a separate fund. We've used this before for equipment and vehicles. It's worked out really well. We don't incur any cost. There's no cost to the county. The cost is to the person purchasing the surplus items. So this time we have an old 2006 red Ford F-250 diesel truck that was handed down to us from the highway department. It's seen way better days. So instead of soaking a lot more money into it, it's just a way for people to buy it on their own. And a lot of times people will buy these vehicles and strip it down for parts and sell it that way. So therefore, I'm asking permission to put the vehicle stated on here on Gov Deals. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think I did skip the motion to put that on the floor, so we're gonna, no, that was okay? Oh, we don't need it? Oh, yes, we do need a motion, okay. Can I get the motion to put that one? Member Tompkins and seconded by Bell, thank you. Any questions or comments? Member Lehman?
Do we already have the title attained for it, and have we located that one before we go forward?
Yes.
Fabulous.
The highway department has it.
Glorious, thank you,
Ready to
sir.
roll.
All right, any other questions? All right, next is 4B. Oh, wait, we have to approve. We didn't approve it. Did I miss that? The vote, yes. Okay, all those in favor, I'm sorry. 4B, 1B, request approval of a resolution for declaration of surplus property. Say aye, please. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously, thank you. Sorry to trip up a little bit there. Next, 4B2A, the monthly report, Mr. Stuffa.
About the only thing I could tell you is we're in our winter phase. We've got all our water shut down, shower house shut down, docks out, boats out of the water. So we're going into what I call our repair and recycle phase, where we start doing any maintenance on equipment and vehicles. We also do, like, for instance, take old picnic tables. If the frames are still good, we'll strip the old wood off, reuse the frames, and refurbish the picnic tables and make them somewhat new again. As far as myself, I'm in my phase where I'm doing more research on equipment and ideas for next year. January 2nd, I'm ready to push the button to start ordering things. So I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody has anything on my monthly report.
Thank you very much. Did anyone have any comments or discussion for Mr. Steffa? All right, seeing none, we will move on. Thank you so much. Next item on the agenda is 4C, items to be presented for action. That's 4C 1A, request approval of an amendment to amended and restated lease between the County of McLean and the Public Building Commission, and that is for Administrator Taylor. Oh, can I get a motion to put that on the floor? By Member Bell, seconded by Member Duffy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Abel. So this is an annual approval that we do at the end of the year after the budget is approved. And so each year we calculate the actual amounts that we need for expenses for all of our buildings that are owned through the Public Building Commission, and we calculate what those expenses will be to the penny. And so this action item is amending the amended and restated lease with the PBC. And it states in the memo what those are for. It includes the debt service as well as the O&M.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that item?
I do, actually.
Member Tompkins.
I just see that the costs are going up. And I've asked several times, do we own this building or are we renters? And I've been told many times that it's a complicated answer. We either own it or we don't. We either rent it or we don't. I just think that sometimes when we put our share, we have to share this building with the city. Are we actually getting our money's worth from being here? Are we paying for all the maintenance all the time? Does the city kick in their part? I just think, this is a lot of money for these digs, and that's just an observation.
Is it an observation or a question?
Is it going up or is it not?
So the cost for operation and maintenance is going up. We share this building, we lease this building through the PBC. So the PBC has title, has deed to this building. We share the costs 50-50 with the city of Bloomington. So those costs are shared 50-50 with the city of Bloomington to maintain operations. And if the PBC would cease to function, they are a mechanism for counties to be able to levy for properties. If they would cease to function, the deed would come back to, this cost is for all the buildings too. So if the PBC would cease to exist, those deeds would come back to the county.
Fair enough. Is this our forever home? Would you say this building here, is this our forever home?
I cannot speak to that, but I do know that we want to keep it in good shape while it is our home.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor of 4C1A, request approval of an amendment to amended and restated lease between the County of McLean and the Public Building Commission, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Next item is 4C1B, request approval of amendment to contract for operation and maintenance between the County of McLean and the Public Building Commission. Can I have a motion? Motion by Vice Chair Lehman, second by Member Bell. Ms. Taylor.
Part of that, as we This is the second piece to our annual renewal. This is the contract with the PBC where the county performs the operation and maintenance for this building in the government center. For all, excuse me, this is the agreement that we have with the PBC for all of our buildings for operation and maintenance. So it's not just for this building. I started thinking about this building in our shared space with City of Bloomington, so I became distracted. But this is for all of our buildings with the PBC.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for Ms. Taylor? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor of 4C 1B, request approval of the amendment to contract for the operation and maintenance between the County of McLean and the Public Building Commission, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Next item is 4C 1C, request approval of a lease agreement between the County of McLean and Children's Advocacy Center for the office space located in the 200 West Front Street, Bloomington, Illinois building. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Vice Chair Lehman and seconded by Member Duffy. Ms. Taylor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Abel. This is our annual lease agreement for the Children's Advocacy Center that is located at 200 West Front Street on our 5th floor of that building. This is to make an agreement that they will pay their proportionate share of utilities and maintenance expenses.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Member Duffy.
Is that share kind of same deal, like 50/50 for utilities and maintenance, or do they just pay it outright?
So they are a county department and they, so it's a little different arrangement there, but this is for their share.
Are there any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of 4C 1C, request approval of a lease agreement between the County of McLean and the Children's Advocacy Center office, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. The next item is 4C 1D, request approval of a lease agreement between the County of McLean and the Veterans Assistance Commission for office space located on the 4th floor of 200 West Front Street, Bloomington, Illinois building. Can I have a motion? Motion by Vice Chair Lehman, second by Member Duffy. Administrator Taylor, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Abel. This is my last action item, similar to the last one. This is for a lease agreement for the Veterans Assistance Commission to provide services to our veterans.
Thank you very much. Any questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor of 4C 1D, request approval of a lease agreement between the County of McLean and the Veterans Assistance Commission, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. 4C2, items to be presented for information. Is there anything else, Administrator Taylor?
I have nothing else for the committee.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is number 5, other business and communications. We have the 2025 meeting dates, which have been updated on the calendar. Was there anything else? Member Duffy.
Yeah, Mr. Steffa, I saw on Facebook, I wanted to kind of commend Parks and Recreation, especially your guys. I saw they rescued a deer out in Lake Bloomington. I actually work over at Miller Park Zoo, so I'm a lover of animals, and honestly, just seeing stuff like that, really shows the good in people. So I wanted to just kind of shout you out.
Thank you. Can I correct you on something?
Yes.
Evergreen Lake.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry, I'm really touchy about that subject, so. No, they went above and beyond. Brett Murphy, our maintenance supervisor, actually put chest waders on and went all the way out into the water to do that, to break ice all the way out to the deer. So it was really nice. There was a gentleman that came in and reported it. So yeah, appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'll pass that along.
Of course.
Thank you very much. And then just to go back to those meeting dates, we do have the meeting changing starting in 2025 to Tuesdays. So please make sure that you check those calendars and make sure you are here on Tuesday next month. Anybody else have anything to share? All right. This meeting is adjourned then. Thank you so much.